everyone, it's Heather Nichols. Today I have a card to share with you that's perfect for summer and full of sparkle. It all starts with the Sun's Out background stamp. This stamp features a whole background of sunglasses frames, and then you can use the coordinating Sun's Out stencil to add the lenses to your glasses. I'll also be using the Clearly Crafty Shades of Summer stamp set. This set features a larger size of sunglasses frames along with several different patterns that you can fill the lenses with. There are coordinating dies available to cut out the glasses or build your own. I'll also be using the Stitched Banners Stacklets die collection. I'll be using the third smallest banner. For ink colors, I'll be using Oreo, Sugar Cube, and Earl Grey. I'll be using the Glitter Grab paste, and I'll apply this through my stencil with a Nuvo Media spatula. I'll also be using the Nuvo spoon to scoop glitter. This is the new Tailored Expressions All That Glitters glitter. I'm using Cookie Monster, Pea Pod, and Candy Corn. I'll be embellishing my card with a few bits and pieces black drip drops. I'll be attaching those with multimedia matte. I'll also be using foam squares and pixie spray on my project. I'm using the Sun's Out background stamp first to stamp the sunglasses onto a piece of Toffee cardstock. I'll be setting this up in my MISTI. I'll set the stamp into the MISTI and close the lid to pick up the stamp. I'll set my cardstock up so that the image from the background stamp stamps completely on the Toffee cardstock. First, I'll add a little adhesive to the MISTI grid paper. Then I'll set that cardstock onto the background stamp and then close the lid of the MISTI from the back to transfer the cardstock to the grid paper. The adhesive will hold the cardstock in place, and then I'll ink up the stamp with Sugar Cube ink. I'll close the lid of the MISTI to stamp the background pattern onto the Toffee cardstock. Next, I'm going to add glittery lenses to my sunglasses using the Sun's Out stencil. The Tailored Expressions etching should be on the lower left-hand corner, so you have your stencil the right side up. I used pixie spray on the back of my stencil to hold everything in place, and it's very easy to see the stamp design to line the stencil up just perfectly. Once the stencil is in place, I'll apply Glitter Grab through the stencil using a Nuvo Media spatula. This Glitter Grab is kind of like the consistency of a craft glue. Use the spatula to spread the paste from the top to the bottom of the stencil and make sure you get Glitter Grab in all of the stencil openings. I wanted to apply my glitter in rows across the different sunglasses, and so I'm using the Nuvo spoon to help me control where I'm sprinkling the glitter. Once I have the glitter applied where I want it, I'll tap off the extra and put the extra glitter back into the jar. Then I'll move on to each of the colors until I have a full multicolored effect. And here's my glitter cleanup tip. Use a Swiffer cloth to wipe your work surface down. It will pick up all of those little particles and get your desktop clean and ready for the next step. Next, I'm going to make some larger sunglasses with glittery frames. I'm going to do some glitter dipping to do that. I'm adding one of our sticky sheets to the front of a piece of candy corn cardstock. I always like using cardstock that's really close to the glitter color that you're using because that's going to help fill in the gaps if you have glitter that's spread a little thin. I'm using the sunglasses frames from the Shades of Summer die collection, and I'll make sure to cut it out so that the sticky sheet is going to be on the front of the die cut. Once the frames are cut out, I'll peel off that sticker backing, and then I'll just dip that right into candy corn glitter. I can also use my Nuvo spoon to sprinkle glitter over the areas that don't fit into my glitter container. For the lenses on my sunglasses, I die cut the sunglasses again from Sugar Cube cardstock, and then I have everything set back into my MISTI to use as a template. The negative of the die cut, the frame, and then I can pop the lenses right into the frame openings. The patterns for the lenses are connected together so that you can stamp it perfectly into either the stamped sunglasses or the die cut sunglasses. I'm using the palm tree lenses, and I'll set those right on top of my die cut sunglasses, and then I'll ink that up with Earl Grey ink and stamp that onto the Sugar Cube cardstock pieces. In the Shades of Summer die collection, there is a base for the sunglasses that is exactly the same size as the frames, but there's no lenses cut out. This ensures you have a sturdy embellishment when you get all of the pieces put together. I'm using liquid adhesive to adhere the frames to the base, and then I'll adhere the lenses inside of the frames. I cut out a Stitched Banner Stacklets die. This is the third smallest banner. and I'm cutting that out from a piece of Cookie Monster cardstock. I set the banner into my MISTI. I'll hold it in place with a magnet so that I can stamp one of the sentiments from the Shades of Summer stamp set onto the banner. I chose the sentiment, "Your future looks bright," and so I added that and stamped that with Oreo ink in my MISTI, and then I used the little palm trees that are in the stamp set to accent the sentiment on the banner. I stamped the palm trees using Sugar Cube ink. Now we're ready to put this card together. I'm adding the background to a Sugar Cube card base. Next, I'll attach the sentiment banner, and whenever you're attaching anything to a glittered background, the best way to go is to use a liquid adhesive. I'm attaching the sunglasses to the sentiment banner using foam squares so that it's popped up just a little bit more from the card. And then my final touch is to add a few bits and pieces black drip drops scattered around my sentiment. I'll use a liquid adhesive. I'm using multimedia matte to adhere the drip drops to my project. After I attach the drip drops, my card is done. I hope you enjoyed this sparkly summer card and that you learned a few tips along the way. All of the supplies that I used to create this project can be found in the Tailored Expressions web store at tailoredexpressions.com. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody, and I'll see you next time.